of what I was going to tell you about is that the press wanted to come write a story about it. We went on a weekday where school was out end of June. They wanted to get a quote from a kid about a program we just started there. We only could find one kid on the whole golf course on a summer day. And
You're kidding me.
And to me, our next point is
well, what that tells you is that kids in the neighborhood don't know about that golf course and aren't using it.
Exactly.
So what did you do to get kids involved in using this golf course that's literally in their backyard?
Think about even your own life, you know, whatever hobbies you have, even how you make your tie. Right. You maybe had a dad who taught you how to fish, or make your tie, or maybe a mom, or whoever. Sometimes people in situations, they don't have, the parents don't have maybe the sophistication, the time, energy, or the money, or know that. So they maybe need a big brother to bring them in. So I ended up having lucky to meet a gentleman named professor from Stony Brook College named Alex Lopez, head of the occupational therapy department, and he had an idea about a program, and in the long run I basically networked with him, put it together. It's a program called PAR 4. And
we have a flyer that you put together on that. It says perseverance, accountability, resiliency, fellowship, opportunity, respect, empowerment, and using golf as a vehicle for those values.
What we ended up doing, and we're increasing it to 35 kids now. We started off with 10 in Brentwood. Is taking grad students from Stony Brook College, our big brothers and big sisters, equally girls too. And it's twice a month, and in the spring and the winter, in the summer it's like 3 times a month. They have a big brother, and they're going out having golf lessons. And with that golf lessons, giving them, besides a big brother who's a role model, going to school and stuff, one-on-one, it's a sport, it's a gentleman's sport, you're not fighting each other, you're talking. And they're learning things like manners, etiquette, dress, you know, tours of the college. Some of these kids were from troubled situations.
I'm sure a lot of these kids have probably never really left Brentwood or their block or their neighborhood to even know that this golf course was there, or for that much less visit a college.
The success for this program is that out of the first year, the 10 kids, it was a 91% retention rate, 87% attendance rate. So they all showed up, you know, and they came every week for months.
So they're voting with their feet. They want to be there.
The best part of it is, out of these 10 kids, 7 of the kids joined the Brentwood Schools golf team.
That's awesome. We have to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Islip Councilman Steve Flotteron, so don't go away.
Please support Long Island Cares, the Harry Chapin Food Bank, Long Island's regional food bank since 1980. 27 years later, Long Island Cares remains the respected leader in addressing hunger on Long Island. Long Island Cares, the Harry Chapin Food Bank, one bank we can't afford to let fail. Call 582-FOOD or visit licares.org.
There are over 100,000 at-risk students on Long Island. Many of them do not graduate high school. Yes, You Can, Si Se Puede mentoring group works to encourage students to stay in school and realize their dreams. Mentoring is a powerful tool and helps students stay on a course to success in life. Make a difference. Become a mentor. Join us today.
Welcome back to Cablevision's Meet the Leaders. Our guest today is Islip Town Councilman Steve Flotteron. Councilman, you were just telling us about this great program you put together called PAR 4, where you really created mentors for a lot of high-need kids in the Brentwood and Central Islip community, and used golf as a vehicle to teach values about life. But all these things cost money. It's one thing to convene them. Did you get help from any outside sponsors?
Yes, I did. It's really, my job was almost networking things together
Right.
is how I helped. And even from doing a press release, I had golf pros calling me from other parts of Long Island who wanted to donate golf clubs and stuff. And the biggest thing was because of this innovative program that the USGA learned about it and went out for a grant. The USGA said it was the most innovative program in the country. We were getting calls in my office across the country about this.
Well, that's great. Congratulations.
So, again, it's a way of expanding programs that did not cost the local town taxpayers money.
Well, and it's utilizing this great resource.
The colleges.
The college, the Islip, the golf course that Islip has at Brentwood, and getting neighborhood kids to take advantage of something that's there and teaching them in larger lessons. Tell us about the STEP program.
STEP program was a similar type philosophy. It was a terrible incident last year. It was a central Islip wreck where there was somebody was killed for gang-related, and it was the community got together very upset. We need to do something, and part of my philosophy with other people is we got to take back our parks. And taking back our park was this. We said, let's have a program this summer called Summer Teen Richmond Program, I believe. I'm getting the words confused. And we basically had 35 children that were 7th and 8th graders, only costing $50 for this 5-week camp. 6 hours a day, and again, it was very minimal cost to the town because we got, again, donated services. Toro Law School, Duck Stadium, the Sheriff's Department did a week program,
great.
Access, etc.
And parents could know that their child is in a supervised setting at the neighborhood park, taking advantage of all that has to offer.
Exactly. Only little thing right now, we're going through all the tensions about the budgets in the world and stuff, and hopefully, it still costs a little money to run this.
Right.
It was run by grants, that thing. So we're trying to sift through that right now.
Well,
hopefully, we don't have to can the program.
I know you're going to keep fighting for that. When you talk about community involvement, there's no better example of where community and government comes together at the local level than when you're dealing with development and redevelopment issues. And the towns have enormous power when it comes to addressing the problems of the lack of affordable housing, the brain drain. Actually, you control all of the zoning and development there. Are there ways that you're utilizing community input in a constructive way to get people out of their comfort zone and realize that there are better ways for us to see communities be developed and redeveloped, for that matter?
Definitely. And one example you could see some of what I'm talking about is downtown Bayshore, the turnaround, many different people working together, is part of, first of all, next generation housing, concern of our kids fleeing the area. And they're saying Long Island's unaffordable. I say that's not true. Long Island can be affordable, and it doesn't have to be affordable from government subsidies all the time. Also, it can be done in business way.
First of all, there aren't enough government subsidies to solve the problem.
Exactly, and to me, that's what this country is about: capitalism.
Right.
You want. I think we're losing our kids not to the Sun Belt. I think we're losing them to Jersey City, Hoboken, Queens, etc.
We're losing them to places like Brooklyn along the waterfront.
And the reason is lack of product. And I think we need to build more like one-bedrooms and studios in our downtown areas, above the stores or by the train stations. And again, Bayshore is doing such things like that. I think they could fit in a lot of other townships.
Well, how do you deal with community opposition? And you have an example of the redevelopment of the Bayshore Marina, which was something that was built a couple of decades ago and had really fallen on tough times and been underutilized. And you came up with a very creative way to get the community involved and enthusiastic about the redevelopment.
Well, I think what always happened, that's even the Bayshore Marina, we did a visioning. And what a visioning is, I think what government does wrong, or even developers, is they come up with a plan, they go to the planning department, do a public hearing, and everybody comes out suspicious or angered against. I say, go to the public first. Start from the bottom up. Get their input.
So what did you do to come up with this beautiful plan for the Marina in Bayshore?
We got all the different personalities in the communities and did a visioning. We hired a company called Vision Long Island, and we basically asked, what are your hopes at the Marina? What are your horrors? And we came back and presented a rendering of their hopes and horrors, and we addressed their hopes, and we said why maybe something wasn't on it, was on it, because we said these are some of our constraints.
Right.
And we educated them. Everybody got on the same page, everybody applauded at the end. From that, I was able to go, again, doing more with less. I didn't have to raise taxes to get the marina redone. I was able to go out and get grants because I was able to show to our electeds, like our Senator Owen Johnson, the community is all behind this. He has gotten us, this year alone, in bulkheading over $3 million. We're building a spray park there. And again, I did not have to raise Islip taxpayers' taxes to do that. I was getting our fair share